So first off, as we can see, we have a navigation bar. This is our hero section. We've got the avatar and some text here. We've got logos. And we have this section here with the offers and the projects, with links and tags, a link to more projects, and then we have a video section with some YouTube videos here and a link to the course. Alright, so first things first is let's create our project. Welcome back with Code with Petit Pois. As mentioned, I will be converting a Figma template that I was given by a subscriber into an Astro project. So this is the Figma file. They took all the details from my website, and they have what I offer, recent projects, and latest videos, and then a call to action at the bottom. So this is what we will be creating, converting into a Astro landing page, I would say. Okay, that's what we'll be doing today. Okay, so here we are, and we are going to look at the Figma file, break down the Figma file a bit more. As we mentioned, we've got a huge branding name and a little column here with a 2-column layout and a button. So this is typically the hero section of the page. And as we can see as well, we've got the climate crisis as the font and Azoret Mono as the other font. Okay, so all we're going to do, so just undo all of that. We are going to add a, in our hero, we made a component called hero, and we added the Petit Pois, and we added an image similar to the one we did in our images section, and then another div with a H1 and a H2 specifying what we're offering, and a button, work with me. So just like what we have here, except it looks like this. So we need to change the fonts, we change the background color, and for now we might even remove this nav bar. So in our layout file, we've got nav bar here. Just going to remove that for now. Just comment that out. Okay. So now we're going to go to Google Fonts and get those fonts. I've got, I'm going to do an at import, we can do that. And we're going to copy this and we add it to the head of our layout file. So we've got that. And that way we can basically say everything with a class of heading has the font family climate crisis, or if not, sans serif, and everything with inside a div that doesn't have that class as a font family of Azoret Mono. Alright, so let's take a look, see what we got. Oh, we don't have a heading. So let's give this a class of heading. See if that does anything for us. does not. Okay. Looks like we have an issue. Let's say it's global. Let's just make sure that that's right. There we go. So I added this is global, making sure that it's going to attach to all our files. So here we have the right fonts, and now we will carry on by doing the background color. So if you want to have the specific one, obviously you get it from the file, and we can go to our hero section, and in the surrounding div we can add a class of bg dash, and inside we put a number symbol, and in square brackets we write the hexagon number. So if we look now at our portfolio, we have that specific color, just like the one here. And then we're going to do our orange. So this is this color here. And instead of having to put it every time, we could add it to our layout file and say .orange. And we could have the color, because that's how it is, and be this, this file here. So if we add the word orange to the petit pois file, what do we have? Oh. The class of orange, right? Orange. Yeah, that should work. Maybe that shouldn't actually be in quotes. That's probably why it's not working. There we go. Okay, so we're getting there. Let's see what we can do with this image. We could give it a class. Oops. We can give this, give this image a class of rounded dash L dash full. So the left should be called rounded, and rounded dash B dash full. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. But we want it so that, okay, so it should be maybe T instead of B, the top. There we go. Nice. And then we want, let's say a width of 32. Okay. And we'll just say object cover for now, so that the height 32. There we go. Nice. And so then what we will do, we will say, we'll give it a border, and then we'll say border dash white, and we can say border dash 2 to make sure that we have a nice thick border. So it's coming along similar to what we have here, except this is very huge. So we know this is 290, so we could specifically say that when the text, by default it's 9XL, but when it's on a large screen, we could say its text is 290 points in square brackets. And if we look, there you go. Now that's super big and we can't see everything, so we might have to change that to if we refresh. Okay, that's still quite too big. So it's 200. Here we go. 200. And we also probably want to make sure that it's centered. So we say text center. Okay, nice. So we're looking similar to what we have here. So let's work on the rest of the page, hero section. Sorry. Okay, so now we want to make sure that we have some padding. So with this div here, we've got class, we've got a padding of 4. Make sure it's nicely padded. We want to give everything the text of white because that's kind of what is expected. And we want to give this h1 a class of text for XL, just to give it a nice big, maybe with font dash bold. So we give it a nice bold font. And we want everything to kind of be away from the edge. We might say margin 4 as well. Okay. And the work with me needs to be an orange button too. And if we take a look, is it the same orange as the, no, it's not. Okay. So we could take this specific orange. And again, in our layout file, we could say dot orange dash button and make sure that the color is number sign and what we have here. Okay, so now if we go to our button, we can add a class equals orange dash button. Did I say button or BTN? I said BTN. Okay. So now if we look up, now this has changed the text, because if we want to change the background color, we have to specifically say background color. There we go. So that's more like what we have in our thing here, and we realize it's uppercase. So in our hero, we can just say uppercase. All right, so this is looking much better. As you can see, we've got a lot of space. So what we're going to do is going to make sure that the padding is padding 32. Let's see. All right, okay, so that's kind of similar to what we want. Well, we're going to say padding Y of 72. Let's try that. All right, that looks a bit better. We might say, let's say 48. Yeah, that's a bit better. Nice. Actually, I might change it to 32. Again, excellent. Okay, so that's good. So there we go. We're getting close to what we have here, except the. Okay, so we've got everything sort of where we want it. So let's just make sure that it's laid out the way we like. Okay, so we can see that it goes a little bit too far. So we want to maybe tell this specific line to have a class of a max width MD. There we go. Or we could say maybe XL. When does it break? It breaks at development. Okay. So we could say SM, and it could, okay, that's a bit too small, but MD is good. And we could say text LG, just to give it a nice, all right, okay, so we're getting somewhere. So we can say max width LG maybe. Yes, that's perfect. All right, so there we go. Now we've successfully done our hero section. And you can always, obviously, like I said, if you want to change out the image, obviously you use any image that you have in your images file here. And we have a reference to a form link that we have written up here. So you could leave it as it is, or you could make a note to come back and actually update this, or you could obviously use it as a prop. So it's up to you. We're just going to leave it right now, and we're going to use props in a different video. But there you go. That's how we've successfully converted the hero section. And as you can see here, this title and stuff doesn't kind of match. So what we can do in our layout file, we can make sure that the title is petit pois. And now the title there is petit pois. So anything you want to change, you want to add your SEO, it goes here. So everything is doable. So next we will focus on converting the offer section. See you then. Okay, so the next section we're going to look at is our offer section. So we have a 2-column layout, and we have the orange font, a little blurb, and the different offerings. So, as usual, we make a component. We'll create a new component called offers. Offers.astro. And we know we want something similar to what we have here. So we can just copy this and change the background to make sure it matches this color. So we've got this color here, and we can paste that here. All right, and we go to our index file, and we can add our offer component and make sure we import that. Sometimes it auto imports, sometimes it doesn't. From at components/offers. So is it offers? There we go. Okay, so this is an opportunity to use maybe a little card where you can update what you offer. And we're just going to start with what's been written here. So we've got what I offer and a little blurb. So the offers component, we have a div, and we definitely know it's a class of grid, and the grid calls-1 and MD grid calls-2. What that basically means is on desktop it will be 2 columns, but on a mobile it'll be 1. So the first div, we know we want a H1 with this what I offer, and we want it to have a class of orange and a text of 4XL and in uppercase. Then we want a paragraph tag, and we can copy from the design, copy that and add that here. Okay, so that's the first div. Now the second div will have these. So let's take a look here. We got what I offer, excellent. We know we need some padding because it looks a little bit too flush. So we just had padding X4. Okay, and the what I offer needs to be bold, font dash bold. And we know it also needs the heading class so that it is big, but wait, maybe we want to make that 7XL. Here we go, that's more like it. And we actually can take away the font bold because I think that's not what's used in the design. So there we go, what I offer is there. And obviously we want to make sure that it has the text is all white. So we can put that right at the top, text white. So unless it's explicitly told it not to be white, everything else will be. So that's on our one side. And now the other side, we want to have a title. So the service title, we want to know what it involves and maybe a list of some of the features. So the best way to do this is to actually have an array at the top. So we can have a const array of services, and each service has a title. So in this case, it is software tutor. I'll tell you why I'm doing this in a minute. A role could be one-on-one. Features. So the features are also an array. So you could say we know that it's these 3 features here. So basic coding, website assistance, and bug fixing. Okay, we've got basic coding, website assistance, and bug fixing. Alright, so we can take this and we can do it 1, 2, 3 times, and each of those we can change. So we've got software development, Astro templates, custom website templates, you can say. This is a software developer, and custom website design and website redesign. Okay. All right, you get the idea. So I could change. We've got branding, and we have SEO. And obviously you can change what you need. So now we're going to loop through all of these, this array, and we're going to have a div first. Let's just create our div. So we know that we want a title, a subtitle, and we want it to have a number. So actually it doesn't need the number, so we'll just we'll do that. So we have the title, so we have a H1, actually in this case we'll do a H2, and this will be title, and then the H3 will be a role, and then afterwards we want a UL, LI, for each feature we want a feature. Okay, so now this div here, you want to make sure that this has a class of orange and heading, because that actually no, it doesn't need the heading, but it does need the orange, and we want to say uppercase. And now we want to say, so this is almost like a little card, and we can say we're going to open these curly braces, and we're going to say that this will be our services dot map. So we're mapping through, and we're going to take each service, and we are going to say we're going to put all of this div inside here. And instead of just title, we need to say service. Oops. Service dot title, because we're looping through all of these. And service dot role, and here we're looping through other things. So we say service dot features dot map. We say feature, and that will also be here. So everything, oops, let's just adjust my screen here. So everything that we have should be right here. So it looks similar to what we have here. Obviously we have to style it a bit, but that's, at least we're in the right place. We're getting there. So first off, what we need to do is add some styling to, so we say text, maybe 4XL, and a class of text 2XL for the role. Okay, nice. And we're going to add font bold to the title, because I think that will make it look a lot more like what we have here. The 101 tutor is there, and if we go here, so as you can see, we're constantly checking. Now the 101 tutor, there seems to be a nice little padding between the role and the features, so we can do that. We can make sure that the margin bottom is maybe 8. In each of those. Okay, excellent. And we can also do the same for the UL. So we have class of margin bottom 8. There we go. So we've got a nice thing here. I'm going to change the 101 to make sure that it aligns with what we have in the custom designs. Okay, logo. Okay, that's fine. We'll do that. So obviously you can add whatever you need. Logo design, website design, artwork, whatever it is. The SEO is audit. So we got auditing, site audit. We got Google rankings. And we can say analytics, if I can spell it. And there we go. Optimize. Okay, so that's fine. So we've got two sections there that are done now. So there you go. This is what I offer, and that's very similar to what we have here, except there's some padding issues. So what we can also do is add some padding to the top and bottom to everything. So we can say padding T 4, padding B 4. Oh, actually we want left and right. So let's just say padding 4. Let's go padding 8. Okay, but the actual div, this div here, what's that class? Padding 4. And class padding 8. See what that does. Alright, there we go. That's a bit better. Alright, so that's kind of what we're looking for. We go back to, now we can go on to our projects, and this is where we're going to actually start using the some markdown.